While the war that's been thrust upon Israel enters a downtime, we have an opportunity to reflect on our way forward while preparing for what, unfortunately and inevitably, will come upon us again. Israel is a special nation. We are born into a family of divine promise, but also responsibility. The saying that we're a light to the nations is well known, but our responsibility lies first and foremost in our relationship to God, and secondly, to ourselves, before we can truly bring the light of God to the world. As our family continues to return to our homeland from the four corners of the earth, we bring with us elements that we've learned over the centuries during our endless, restless wanderings. Modern-day Israel is a microcosm of everywhere, gathering and blending at the center of the earth. We're creating a vibrant new Israelite identity that's very different from our ancestors, while their essence is a clearly recognizable part of us. Our knowledge of our forefathers and national history is unique among the nations of the world. We have a detailed and unchanged written account about our heritage that's been passed down to us through thousands of years, the knowledge of which has been spread to nearly every culture through the Bible. We are the children and inheritors of the Torah. We must make sure to build our new house of Israel on that righteous and solid foundation that binds us together as a people and a family. In the last of the prophets, God makes his final plea to Israel. Remember the teaching of Moses, my servant. And about God's words, Moses says, don't add to it and don't take away from it. But this is precisely what happened. The 10 tribes of the northern kingdom of Israel were forcibly removed from our homeland for taking away from the written Torah of Moses. The kingdom of Judah didn't do much better, and had to suffer the destruction of the first temple, mass slaughter of much of the population, as well as having the leadership exiled to Babylon for 70 years, because for centuries they'd also ignored what Moses taught. In fact, every one of our nation's troubles from then until now can easily be shown to stem from our lack of obedience. Sometimes, the simplest truth can be the hardest to hear. We've brought painful consequences upon ourselves through complacency, instead of making the effort to achieve pleasant consequences. As God told us, give ear to my laws and obediently observe my rules, so you may live upon the land in security. The land shall give its fruit, and you will eat your fill, and you shall live upon it in security. To avoid a repeat of our Babylonian suffering, our national shepherds began to create a system more stringent and complex than was commanded from the beginning. Strangely enough, doing so leads us to diminishing it. It demands that only the religious leadership has the authority and wisdom to decide how Moses' words are to be understood. The saying, "You can't understand a single word of the Torah without explanation," was instituted, even though Moses says, "This commandment I command you today isn't too mysterious for you, and neither is it far off. It's not in heaven, so you have to say, 'Who can go up to heaven and get it for us, so we can hear it and we can do it?' And it's not across the sea, so you say, 'Who will cross to the other side of the sea and get it for us, so we can hear it?' Because this thing is very close to you, in your mouth and in your heart to do it. Moses isn't just talking to highly educated men and the elites. He's also talking to you and me. We don't have to send someone to the highest levels of understanding to relate it to us. We don't have to send someone to some far-off place to learn it for us. So how sad it is when God says, "My people is destroyed for a lack of knowledge." We should know it. We as a people are commanded to know it and live it for our own benefit. So do we have to spend years in a study hall to master it? Listen to what Moses says. "At the end of the 7th year, during the festival of Sukkot, you shall read this, the teaching, in the presence of all Israel, in their hearing. Gather the people, the men and the women and the small ones, and your foreigner who is within your gates. So they'll hear and so they'll learn, and be in awe of Yehovah your God, to preserve and to do all the words of this, the Torah." Everyone gathers and listens to the Torah for 1 week, and if anyone has any questions, the Levites are there to explain it. Then, after the 8th day, everyone goes home. So how are we supposed to remember it all? Well, he thought of that too. "And these words I command you today shall be upon your heart, and you shall recite them to your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit at home, and when you walk on the way, and when you lie down, and when you get up." If we talk about something enough, we will know it. If we do something enough, it will become a part of us. We'll realize that what Moses wrote is actually pretty straightforward, practical, and down to earth. Torah is the deep flowing fountain of Israel's well-being, Israel's prosperity, Israel's strength, and our healing. And by our adherence to it, God declares us righteous and wise. Through it, we can take the lead in bringing to life the promises of a peaceful planet yet to come, just as Isaiah and Micah envisioned. In the next parts of this discussion, we'll begin to look at the Torah of Moses and how it relates to us in our time.